Alright, hello everyone. Today I thought we'd do an impromptu Instagram live. We're going to be unboxing a crate of Cryptkins. For those that don't know, Cryptkins are a series of figurines based on cryptids. So mysterious animals, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, all those kinds of things. There are 13 in the set. 10 kind of normal ones and 3 mysterious ones. I have 13 boxes, so we will see if we can do the entire set. I'm not feeling too hopeful on that, but let's see how we go. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is kind of hopefully chatting a little bit about what each of these figurines represent, the characters that they are based on. So let's get started and see what we can find. Well, we're off to a great start. Can't open the box. Who will we find inside? A lovely green bag. I can feel some kind of pointy ears. I think we might have a Mothman in here. Let's Hulk it out and see who we've got. And we do. We've got Mothman, a very adorable version of Mothman. So if you're not familiar with Mothman, Mothman is a creature that was spotted over a period of quite a few years in the Point Pleasant area in the US. Probably most notably known from the Richard Gere film, The Mothman Chronicles. Essentially, people were spotting this weird moth-like creature all around Point Pleasant, and he kind of got known as a bit of a harbinger of doom. The most tragic of events that he preceded was the collapse of the bridge in the town. Very well known, very popular cryptid. I think this version is actually a white version. More traditionally, he's seen as being black. So this is, I think, one of the variants of Mothman. Let's just open up the card that comes with it, and we'll just make sure that there's not any extra information I'm leaving out for you guys. But this is White Mothman. Let's pop him back there so you can see him. And the card. Okay, so he's called the Twilight Mothman. And he does appear to be just a variant of Mothman, but a very, very cool one. Big fan of the white. So now to the crate proper. Now let's start by trying to get some of these out. I should have probably done this in advance, because these boxes are very tightly packed. So these ones are also, unfortunately, stuck down. Very hard to get the scissors in there. Okay, let's see who we've got next. Hopefully not a Mothman. Feels very different. Not quite sure who this one is going to be, but I'm certain it's not a Mothman. Oh, very cool character. I think, if this is who I think he is, this is, I think, do they call them night crawlers? Came from a very kind of famous video a few years back of what can only be described as 2 pairs of legs walking through someone's backyard, captured on a security camera. Generally, I think, sort of considered to be alien in origin. The Nightcrawler is quite a modern cryptid. As far as I know, he's not really been spotted outside of that viral video. I don't think he's quite in the echelons of Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster yet, but very, very cool. And if you haven't seen the character, you haven't seen the Nightcrawler before, I suggest you look him up on YouTube. It's a very weird video. Not convinced it's totally authentic, but very, very interesting to look at. Again, let's have a look at his card. They do just pop open. Yep, it is. The Nightcrawler. My cryptid knowledge didn't fail me. There we go. So we started off with two very white cryptids. Let's slide things back so it's a bit easier for you all to see. We've got another box to attempt to open. The most dangerous part of the video. What have we got inside this one? Not sure. Feels like maybe someone with wings? Oh no, we've actually got someone not with wings but with flippers. So we have Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Oh, hi anxious toy photographer, and never enough. Yep, so we have the Loch Ness Monster. Everyone, I'm sure, knows of Nessie, but if you don't, basically a lake in Scotland known as Loch Ness is rumoured to have what would probably be described as a dinosaur living in it, and it's often been spotted. Many hoaxes exist around Nessie, and lots of searches for Nessie have taken place as probably one of the most famous of all the cryptids. I've got a little bit of a special treat for Nessie as well. Before my Cryptkins arrived, I also received this Cryptkins Unleashed Nessie. And so you can see, there with his dad. Very, very cute. The Cryptkins Unleashed are not blind box, and they are a bigger series. Very, very cool. So that's Nessie. Oh, we didn't open his card. Have I lost the bag? His card. And we've got Nessie. Nessie. Okay. Back to the portion of the program we call Watch BC Talk Almost Chop His Fingers Off. So far so good. No doubles yet. Might have just jinxed myself. Again, very different feeling character. Well, yeah, something very different. No, it's not the parrot from Aladdin. I believe this little fella is a Thunderbird, but we will just double check. So I'm going to be quite honest. I don't know a lot about the Thunderbird. As far as I am aware, it has a Native American origin. But outside of that, I don't know a lot about him. Okay, Thunderbird. Maybe we'll just read this one out because I can't give you much information. So, myths say that this guy is enormously powerful and may even have supernatural powers over the weather. So if he's ever in a bad mood, you may want to keep an umbrella handy and track down the nearest storm shelter. And yeah, he's found in North America. Like I say, I'm pretty sure kind of a Native American origin for this fella. Okay. We're doing quite well so far. No blood and no doubles. Always a good way to be. And we've got something white. Again, a new character. And a very, very cool one. We have the Yeti. So, the Yeti is kind of seen in the areas around Nepal, the Andes, those kind of areas, and very, very similar to what we think of when we think about characters like Bigfoot. I think, in fact, this is the exact same figure as Bigfoot, but painted white. So yeah, Nepal, Tibet, that's where you're going to find this guy. Seen in the sort of snowy areas. Again, many expeditions went out for this, to look for this guy, and many tracks have been found, but no kind of smoking gun. We don't have any proof that the Yeti exists. And actually some of the kind of interesting information that I have sort of read around the Yeti is that there is a kind of a rare species of bear, which name I'm forgetting, that are native to that area, but very rarely seen. And they are known to walk on their hind legs. And it's thought that potentially some, or even all, of the sightings of Yeti could be that bear. But I like to hope that the Yeti is real, because wouldn't that be so much cooler? Yes, they are very cool. Anxious toy photographer. I became a big fan. I got the Unleashed Nessie, and then I couldn't stop, and I went out and bought the first series. So there are actually 2 series of Cryptkins, so people know. The first series are largely cryptids, pretty much all but one, I think. The second series has more fantasy animals, not quite so much my thing. Things like unicorns and dragons and things like that. We've got another Twilight Mothman, so I think my son might be getting this guy. But he's really... Sorry, I'm struggling with the focus a bit there. He really is quite cute. I really like this one. And we won't worry about the card for that guy. We've seen him. Moving on. So, we've just made it impossible to get all 13 in the series when we drew that guy. So, a little sad. But I wasn't feeling too confident we were going to get all of them. We'd have to have some pretty good luck for that. So, what have we got next? It's a bigger one. Aha! The North American cousin of the Yeti, the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch. He's got a few different names. Sort of well known all across North America, really, but specifically like the Pacific Northwest and parts of Canada, I think, where he's usually seen. Many people think it could be sort of the missing link between humans and apes. Certainly, if he was proved to be real, would be a huge find, because there aren't apes in North America currently. And just would also just be so cool. But hard to believe that he's stayed hidden as long as he has. But we can all hope that the Bigfoot is out there. So interesting enough, we talked about Yeti, we talked about Bigfoot, but there are also other versions that are kind of well known. I'm going to just talk about them while I try and get one of these boxes out, because it's really quite hard. So in Australia, we have our own version of the Bigfoot, and it's known as the Yowie. Descriptions match pretty much exactly with what you think of when you think of the Bigfoot or the Yeti. Same kind of big hairy guy wandering through the bush. We also have, in Russia, we have the Alma. Malaysia, there's the Orang Pendek, but he sounds a little bit different. I think maybe a bit of a smaller ape man. And actually, many ape kind of enthusiasts believe that he could be some kind of orangutan, undiscovered orangutan. So, Orang Pendek may very well be real and undiscovered. Okay, we've got an interesting character in this one, because, in my opinion, he's not really a cryptid. But a very cool character and very, very popular at the moment. We have Cthulhu. So, as far as I know, and hopefully I can get some focus on that for you guys. Sorry, this is the problem with doing it on the phone instead of my camera, which I'm much more used to. But so, yeah, so we got this guy, Cthulhu. As far as I know, people don't really think Cthulhu is real, right? I have never heard of anyone that believes that Cthulhu is real. So certainly some of the other guys are kind of pushing their luck into whether they exist or not. But Cthulhu, I think, is wholly a fantasy creation of H.P. Lovecraft. But again, cool guy. One of the old gods. Kind of a cosmic horror. Well known for rising from the ocean and having tentacles on his face. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not an expert in Cthulhu. So I can't tell you much more about him than that. But a really neat figure. And if you're going to have anyone that's kind of not a cryptid, right now I think Cthulhu is the guy. His monster star is quite high. Oh, and we must have really liked Cthulhu's, because we've just got another one. So we're just going to move straight on. I don't think we need to talk about my lack of Cthulhu knowledge any further. Back to our favourite segment of the day. Brendan narrowly avoids a trip to emergency. Something we always hope to avoid. Oh, is it another Cthulhu? No, it's someone different. Ooh, someone very interesting indeed. So I'm going to guess, I'm not 100%, but I'm going to guess from the wings and the horns that what we have here is the Jersey Devil. He is a creature that terrorizes the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. There was an X-Files episode about him, so you might be familiar with him from there. Winged, crazy creature. All of the eyewitness accounts are just straight nuts. Like, they're very, very crazy. Oh, that was the Cthulhu box. Opened the wrong one. Very, very crazy creature. One of the bosses in Triad. This one's your favourite. So cute. Which one was your favourite? The Jersey Devil? Yeah, he's great. It is the Jersey Devil. I was right. My crypto knowledge is held out. And yeah, Pine Barrens of New Jersey. I don't think there's much to him apart from he just goes around sort of terrorizing people. A lot of the stories I've heard have him as kind of flying in and swooping cars, that kind of thing. A lot of swooping cars, picking things up, and just being this kind of weird, crazy creature of New Jersey. He sounds really fantastic and really strange, but I actually think that maybe he's one of the ones that more people believe in than you might kind of think. I've heard lots of stories about the Jersey Devil, and yeah, very, very interesting character. I've got another new one. We have another Mothman. So as mentioned earlier, this guy terrorized the area of Point Pleasant and was known as a bit of a bad omen. His biggest claim to fame being that after he appeared, their bridge collapsed in quite a tragic event. And here he is. We've got a couple of Twilights. So I think the black one is the more traditional, what you'd expect to see with Mothman. It's actually interesting, they're not straight repaints. He's actually got different antenna. Twilight's got much bigger antenna than the original. I wonder if the Yeti and the Bigfoot are different. I assume they were the same. Let's have a look. They look to be pretty much the same sculpt, just painted differently. Interesting that maybe the Twilight one is rarer. I don't know if they say what chance they have of each character. I don't think they do. So we've got two more left, and then I'll let you guys get back to your Easter, get back to your families who you're currently avoiding while you're hanging out with me. Okay. Let me know as well if you'd be interested in seeing Series 2. Like I say, Series 2 interests me a little less because there are some cryptids in there, but I know a lot of them are kind of more fantasy creatures. Unicorns, dragons, these kinds of things. Oh, we've got someone new. I believe this is El Chupacabra. So Chupacabra is kind of an interesting guy because there are actually kind of two of them. And they're not exactly the same. I think this one is kind of almost a combination of both. So, and this is just off the top of my head, so if my facts are a little wrong, please forgive me. I believe, so there are kind of two. There's one that's more native to Mexico and maybe, I think, a bit of Central America. And he tends to look a bit more like a dog. And actually, some of his sightings are thought to be dogs with mange that don't have any fur. And attacking livestock is kind of his game. But there is also another one which is more known, I think, in parts of South America. And he is described more like a kangaroo, much more of a blood sucker, and known for sucking the blood of livestock. And that fella is I believe where the name Chupacabra originally originated from. Chupacabra meaning, if I'm not mistaken, goat sucker, for sucking the blood of the goats. Yes, I try to be. I'm a bit of a cryptids mystery nerd. I watched way too much X-Files as a youngster, and while I wouldn't say that I believe in a lot of these creatures, I've always had a big interest in them, and which is why this series really caught my attention. So I think let's just have a look before we open our last box. I think we've got all of the standard characters now. We've got Yeti, Chupacabra, Nessie, Thunderbird, Nightcrawler, Mothman, Chupacabra, Cthulhu, Bigfoot, and Twilight Mothman. So this is our last chance to maybe get a mystery or rare character. They look like there may be another version of Nessie, maybe someone like Champ, one of the other well-known kind of sea monsters. Maybe a variant of Thunderbird, and I'm guessing a variant of Cthulhu is the one with the question mark. Let's see who we get. Not sure from feel alone. It's a Chupacabra. We got another Chupacabra, so that's not too bad. I got the whole main series. I'm pretty happy with that. Didn't get any of the rare ones, but I think I can live with it. I'm not, like I say, super into Cthulhu, and I've got a couple of Nessies now, so very happy with that. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. If this was interesting, this isn't something I normally do. Actually, this is something I've never done before. This is just a bit of fun. So if there's something you'd like to see again, let me know, and we could probably make it happen. All right, thank you very much. I'm BC Talk. See you guys later. Bye.